Hey guys, my name is Anthony and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you the Silverstone track guide. I thought that this is perfect timing that I managed to get to this episode when I did, because I'm pretty sure that the first of two Silverstone GPs is happening this weekend. So if you liked this video and you're new to the channel, then please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. We're almost at 600 subscribers now, which is absolutely crazy to me. So thank you guys who have come and seen the channel before and have decided to support it. So as you can see in front of me, something brand new. The black Mercedes is finally in F1 2020. So if you haven't got it yet, then make sure to install the new update that is on Xbox, PlayStation and PC out already now, so you can get the black Mercedes. We're getting straight into the actual guide now. So as you can see, we're coming up to the last, like the final two corners of the track, or the final three corners I should say, and right now I'm just in front of the 100 meter board. For this corner, you pretty much want to brake where the curb starts. You don't actually want to brake at the 100 meter board. I would usually only brake close to the 100 meter board in wet conditions, but we'll get into that when I get into my wet condition series. So in about 7th gear or 6th gear, depending on if you want to rev out the engine, but in F1 2020 I wouldn't recommend that. In 7th gear, pretty much as soon as the curb starts, brake in a complete straight line down into 3rd gear. As you're turning in, you want to sort of ride over that little part there, but don't touch the red part. You want to sort of cut this curb a little bit. You can touch that red part there and then come out wide. The traction is hard to put down here, so you want to be careful. You want to try and just ride over that curb there, and then here we go, we're actually starting the lap. So this first corner, you want to come out wide. Even during the race, you want to come out wide, and then in 8th gear you want to turn in towards this curb completely flat out. You don't need to worry. Don't cut the corner too much or else you will get a penalty or invalidation. As I said, completely flat out for these first two corners. And then coming up to this corner now, turn 3, you want to brake similar to the final sort of braking zone on Silverstone. You want to brake where the curb starts in 8th gear, down into 4th gear as you turn in here. Then come out, try and stay towards the middle of the track, then come out a little bit wide, and then sort of throw the car into this corner here. You want to brake down into 2nd gear and then pick up the traction as best as possible. Short shift up the 3rd, then put the power down, right over this curb, open up DRS for right over that curb as well, just to get the maximum line through. And then as we're coming into the end of sector 1, I like to brake in between the 100 meter and the 50 meter board, closer towards the 50 meter board than anything else. So as soon as I come towards the 50 meter board in 8th gear, down into 4th gear, you want to shift down slowly for this one, because if you shift down too quickly, you will turn in too quickly and it will just cause a bunch of problems. So shift down slowly into 4th gear, right over this curb. Then for this corner, brake slightly, try and keep the car sort of tight towards the corner here. You want to brake down into 2nd and then short shift back up to 3rd, try and get the power down, short shift back up to 4th, run wide just to get the car as straight as possible as soon as possible. And then for this corner here, old turn 1, you want to sort of go out wide after the 100 meter board, come out wide. This corner is completely flat out, pretty easy. Then sort of turn the car in, ride this curb a little bit, and then again go out wide just to get the car straight as quickly as possible. And then coming up to the probably the most famous corners in Silverstone, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, I believe they're called. So here, 8th gear, you're fine here, completely flat out. 8th gear here, completely flat out. And then throw the car in, downshift once into 7th gear, try not to cut the corner, and then downshift again, 6th gear. Hug this corner but don't invalidate the lap. Then run out wide. Try and hug the left hand side just to give you the best line through, give you the shortest amount of track to drive. And then coming up to this corner now, I believe this is called Stowe. As soon as the curb starts in 8th gear, short downshift into 7th, then one more downshift into 6th. Hug this curb here, and then again try to get the power down as soon as possible. And then we're back here at the final sort of chicane. Brake at the curb in 7th gear, down into 4th, into 3rd, get the car rotated in. And short shift back up to 4th, try and get the power down as quickly as you can. It is pretty hard there. And then there you go, that is a lap of Silverstone. So what we're going to do is I'm going to showcase the lap that you see in the title, and then we'll move on to the setup for this track. So let's get into it. Hey guys, so here we are now at the setup portion of the video. Now if you guys are new to the channel and you may be wondering, are these setups actually raceable? Can I use these in a race, in a 50% race on career mode or something like that? Yes you can. All of the setups that I have in my track guide series are built for races and not time trials, so you don't need to worry about that. So getting into today's setup for Silverstone, we've got 3/6 wings. This is just because Silverstone is a very high speed track. There's a lot of mid to high speed corners. I mean, there's a lot of corners on this track where you go completely flat out, so you will need less wing because you will have a little bit more downforce on average around the track. However, you still need some of that downforce just to keep the car stable. For the transmission, I've actually gone with a pretty low transmission at 50-55. This is just to help tire temperatures and tire life, really, to be honest with you guys. So that's why I've gone with that. Suspension geometry, this is pretty much true to most tracks. You'll see high camber, low toe when it comes to this game. That's just the way it works. It's just best for this game. And then suspensions, I've gone with 2.4, 6.9 and then 1.4. The curbs are not as aggressive on this track, so you can go a little bit more aggressive. You can even go 1.3 if you want. I wouldn't recommend going any lower than 1.3. For the anti-roll bar, this is just to keep the car stable. And for the 2.4, again, just in case that you do run over some of the curbs that are a little bit more aggressive than others around the track. And then brakes are subjective, but if you want to know why I've gone with this, the 95 is just my personal preference. I have the T3PA pedals, so I use a 95 to 100. And then the front brake bias, there is a lot of straight line braking, so that's why I've gone with a higher front brake bias. On tracks where there's not as much straight line braking, not as much heavy braking zones, you can get away with going with a lower front brake bias, but I personally like to go with higher front brake biases when there's straight line braking. And then for the tires, we've gone 21.8 on the fronts and then 20.3 on the rears, so that's pretty much going to be it for that. So if you enjoyed this track guide and you want to see more from this channel, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I've recently posted on my team, but I think based on some of the statistics that you guys are showing, I'm going to stop posting my team for the foreseeable future. I was thinking about streaming it, so if you guys want to see me maybe stream my team series instead, then please let me know in the comment section down below and I'll stream it instead. If not, then I'll probably just play it off camera. So I'll see you guys in my next video.